Hello, everyone, and welcome back to Between the Hashmarks. This is episode 9 of our podcast. Before we go any further into any NFL action, because there is a lot to talk about this week, I'm going to let Tyler discuss the College Football Playoff Committee and their selections and how they did not allow FSU to play for a national championship.
Guys, I sit back and I think about this. Like, I get to the point of what they're trying to say. They're saying that these teams, but there wasn't a dominant team in college football this year. Not one team was dominant. Alabama had their struggles. Georgia had their struggles. Michigan had their struggles. Washington had their struggles. There was struggles with every team every single week, where in the years past we've seen Georgia just dominate everyone, and everyone knew that Georgia was the best team in the country. There wasn't any question marks about it. And what really bothers me about this whole situation is it's not from a fan standpoint. It's from somebody who loves the game of football more than anything. It's probably one of my favorite things, and I know more about it than I probably should, to be honest. But I enjoy it, and I love it because there's things that go involved. That you become a family almost as you get into this football. Like, you start in the spring, and you get transfers in, and you guys all got to come together, and you get brotherhood, and you get in fights, and you get in arguments. But at the end of the day, when you step on that football field, that's your brother, and you're going to fight for him, and you're going to be that guy, and you're going to understand how to play together. So not only do you have to do all that, but then you have to face adversity throughout seasons that we are taught as kids and as children. You have to overcome every obstacle, and you have to come over every single obstacle, and that's how you become one, and that's how you become a champion. A champion is someone who just doesn't quit.
Yep.
These kids never quit. They lost Jordan Travis. And you know what the defense did? The defense rallied around each other, knowing they looked at each other and now said, guys, we have an unexperienced quarterback. We have to win these football games for him. We got to show him that it doesn't matter. Like, we can win with anyone.
Yep.
So 2 weeks in a row, they play 2 different quarterbacks in 2 different weeks. Okay? So that bothers me. So they sat there and they rallied around. And everyone was betting Louisville. Everyone was betting Louisville. Yeah. Everyone thought that Louisville was going to win the football game.
They did.
And Florida State literally came together as a team, and they didn't even allow Louisville to get in the end zone. They beat them 16-6, and I'm going to tell you right now, it wasn't as close as you would think, because it was 16-6, but that defense was destroying Louisville, who was a top 20 offense, I might add. It's not like we were playing the 100th team in the country. We were playing the 14th best team in the country, according to the NCAA. The NCAA said they're the 14th best team in the country. Then, on top of that, there's more. Like, they went out and they beat every single team that they asked them to beat. Okay? They beat them all. And they said, go schedule out a conference. Well, Florida State goes and they schedule LSU. LSU, they say, the NCAA said LSU's the number 5 team in the country. That's what they said. Mm-hmm. We beat LSU by 21 points.
I remember that game.
Beat them right out of the gate. That's what they told us to do. So then you go and you do it. And then you still do all the things. You face all the adversity. You come back from your quarterback, and then they say, well, sorry, guys, we were wrong. LSU wasn't actually the number 5 team in the country. Sorry, we apologize, but we got it wrong, so your strength of schedule is not as good as we actually want it to be. You can't tell a team to schedule a top 5. If this is the case, then you have to schedule the season as you go.
Yeah.
Because then you're like, oh, well, this team's not top 5. Well, let's schedule this team. Let's schedule this team. You can't tell a team to do something and then do it and then penalize them for doing it. It doesn't make sense. It's not how the game works. And for all these people that don't understand what it takes to win in football, like, you guys are, Alabama would win by 40. Alabama would not score 40. Okay? Alabama is not as good as they were. Alabama is mediocre. I mean, they're I don't want to say they're mediocre, but they are one. There's 8 teams in college football that I feel like when they played each other, like, you wouldn't know who's going to win the game. Like, it would come down to turnovers. It would come down to pulling it all together. And in that case, you have to take the teams that hadn't lost. You have to take those teams. You can't just say, well, we think this would happen. Well, we think 13 morons in suits can't decide who wins a football game. If that was the case, how do these bookies stay in business? How do the bookies stay in business? These guys know. These guys know everything. They know who's going to win. They know what the spread's going to be. They know. They knew so much that Alabama and Auburn was a 14.5-point favorite. And Auburn needed Alabama need a miracle.
4th and 31.
4th and 31. I mean, they know, but they just know. They know because they see it. They chose one game where they beat Georgia, and Georgia was not a dominant team all year. They had trailed in 9 games this season. Trailed in 9 games.
Yep.
I can't remember any Georgia team ever trailing in 9 games in my entire life. So
You're probably right.
my point is they weren't as good, but the NCAA said they were number 1, so now they're number 1 because they said so, not because they played it on the field or anything, but they said they were number 1. So when you go back and you look at the games that like Alabama beats Arkansas by 3 points, they beat Texas A&M by 6 points, who lost to Miami by 14, I might add. So the teams that if you like, you compare the teams and you compare who they played, there wasn't a dominant side of the ball on any stretch by any of these two teams.
All undefeated teams should have got
All
in.
undefeated teams. First of all, it should have been written this way a long time ago. My guess is it wasn't written because they never thought it would happen. So it should have said any team that goes undefeated in a Power 5 conference gets an automatic bid to the NCAA playoff. That should have been written. No question. We don't even have any questions.
And this was the first time ever in history.
First time ever in history it's ever happened. And then I go through all these situations and I go through all this and I'm like, Florida State deserved the right to play for the national. They had deserved the right. They have 16 NFL guys on their side, on both sides of the football. They're going to play in the NFL. You're telling me that 16 guys can't compete with? We have more talent than Alabama's got in the NFL right now. We got more talent than Georgia's got that's going to the NFL.
So
right
then,
now.
what do you say to the people who, me playing devil's advocate, they're saying that, hey, maybe the committee chose from like a watchability standpoint or a rating standpoint.
This was a money grab. I mean, there's no getting around it because Alabama was going to bring the most ratings. There is no getting around that. But you can't penalize. You're teaching kids and kids that are coming up to go to the NCAA that no matter if you win or lose, guys, we still might not pick you.
And
that's not how this game works.
Bama rolled deep, man. What did he say? He said, "I don't give a piss about nothing but them Tide."
And I mean, you look at it, man, and it's like there's so much more to it than people like a normal fan doesn't understand what goes into all of it. Like these kids came together as a whole. Like they looked at each other and said, "We have to win this football game because this is for our quarterback. This is for Jordan Travis." And Jordan Travis.
For me, the biggest part, the part for me that kind of pushed them and propelled them, I understand the situation. I understand Jordan Travis is out. That Louisville game, their back was against the wall. They had a redshirt freshman, and they jumped in the Wildcat. I don't even know what the guy's name is. Toafili or whatever.
Yeah, Lawrence Toafili. Very good
They
backup.
jumped in the Wildcat and generated offense.
Right.
This
is also disrespectful to Mike Norvell. Mike Norvell has won 19 straight football games as a head coach. 19 straight. That's the longest active streak in college football. 19. And now you want to tell me that if that was any other team that they wouldn't get into 19 straight. Just think about that. You haven't lost in college football in 19 straight games, and you still don't get the right to play for a national title. It's disrespectful to Mike Norvell that he can't come up with a game plan that would, hide his backup quarterback a little bit, run the football, and play defense. It's disrespectful to Mike Norvell. He showed that he knows how to win football games, even with he's got his third-string true freshman quarterback in the game.
And
it wasn't right what they did to him. It wasn't right what they did to Florida State. It was absolutely criminal. Florida State deserved the right to play for a national title. I'm not saying they would have won. I'm not saying they wouldn't. But I don't know. You don't know. And them 13 morons in suits sure as hell don't know.
So then what to all the people, once again, devil's advocate, right? The watchability guys, the politics guys. They're like, hey, but Tyler, Georgia opens as a 13-point favorite against FSU in the Orange Bowl.
Well, first of all, let's talk about that because I don't expect most of these NFL guys to even play in this game because it's meaningless. What is that going to prove if you beat Georgia? Oh, we got it wrong. Good job, guys. Way to go.
Yeah.
It's going to do absolutely
nothing. And a lot
nothing.
of guys have already bowed out.
I think Keon Coleman's the
he's
next
already,
one.
He's already kind of hit the thank yous.
Yeah, he said, thank you, guys. I appreciate it. We're not going to play.
Yeah.
And I don't blame them because they did everything right as a whole. And they should have had the right to play for a national title because they rallied around each other. They became brothers. They all came together, man. And that's what it takes to be a champion. And when you do this to these up-and-coming kids, you're telling them that when your star player goes down, just quit, guys, because it doesn't matter. That's what you're telling them, and that's not what you want to be giving the message. But once again, the NCAA's never been about the kids. It's been about them in a business, and they're creeps, and they want the money, and that's all they care about, and that's what sucks. And it's not right, and I hope they disappear. I hope all these big conferences
Oh my
make the
God.
NCAA disappear.
What?
They should write every one of those Florida State guys a handwritten apology. They should write them.
Wait,
all
who are you gonna
apology.
call? Like John Wick or something? You want them to just disappear?
I mean, just I want them to dissipate. They're gone. I don't want the NCAA around. And who
But
does?
it just so happens that they're gonna switch to a 12-team playoff next year. So.
Well, that's great. But tell these kids that now that are in the league, that are going to the NFL, that don't get it right. These kids are going to think about this for the rest of their lives.
Oh, for sure.
They are going to absolutely be like, we made history in the wrong way.
Yeah.
And what happened to storybook, like fairy tale stories, like, oh, Florida State won with their backup quarterback when their backs was against the wall. What happened to stuff like that everyone used to love? Now it's, Alabama's got to get in. And the fact of the matter is, if Texas wouldn't have beat Alabama, and they played any other SEC school, Texas would have not made the playoff. But the only way to get Alabama in was to put Texas in because Texas had beat them.
Alabama.
And it was criminal. And I don't know if you saw, but Ron DeSantis, the
Money.
governor here of Florida,
$1 million.
ready to sue the NCAA.
$1 million.
Yeah, once again, I could go on for days about this, but there was a lot of situations that if Alabama had looked dominant, I would have said a different word. But, like, do you know what Auburn's quarterback's numbers were when they played Alabama? They're saying Florida State couldn't compete with them without a quarterback. Do you know what their numbers were?
What?
Just throw me out some numbers that you think the Auburn quarterback did.
19 to 25 for 250.
He was 5 of 16, 91 yards, 2 interceptions.
Wow. Who is this?
And you're-
Milroe?
No, this was the
Auburn
Auburn quarterback when they should have beat Alabama.
Oh, yeah.
That was the quarterback's numbers, and they're saying our quarterback matters. Well, apparently it doesn't. You can beat Alabama with any quarterback because that game, we all know Auburn won the game.
As you can see, this news is not sitting right with Tyler. I would like to see what comes in the next coming. Like, I kind of want to see what shakes out with the results of games, the Georgia FSU game. Even though, like you said, I don't think it really
It's
matters.
not. I just don't think they can get up and play that game. But it's not even that. It's. I would fight for any team like this because I know what it takes to get to where they are, and that's what bothers me. It's if it's any other team, I would still fight the same way. Would I be as adamant about it? Probably not. But I would say they 100% deserve it over any other team. And
There you have it.
So
FSU should have been in. Alabama probably shouldn't have. But let's get rolling. Let's get into the show. Let's switch gears to our hometown NFL team. The Jacksonville Jaguars played their first Monday night game in 12 years here against the Cincinnati Bengals, and they lost. Jake the Snake.
Jake had his best game of his career without a
Best
question
game
mark.
of his career.
Without question.
Out question. Showed up enemy territory, behind enemy lines, and showed up in a big way. I think he had 4 incompletions, rushing Teddy, passing Teddy. And on the other side of the football, obviously the big news that's been looming is that Trevor Lawrence went down in that game and had to leave with a questionable status because he injured his ankle.
Yeah, Hunter. It was a double whammy for me. Like they lose Trevor, they lose the game, they lose Christian Kirk. I mean, Christian Kirk on the first catch gets hurt without even anybody touching him. I mean, that's tough. Like
Non-contact injuries are the absolute worst because you know they're bad.
Oh yeah, 100%. And I thought Trevor's was way worse. Just the way he acted, he couldn't stand up. He threw his helmet on the ground. I just felt like as a player, you know when another player knows he thinks he's seriously injured. Like, and I felt that way. And I guess we were both wrong because you could see that Trevor thought he was seriously injured.
Oh, for sure. And then it came into question of whether or not a cart would have been available for him. And he said it. He said, hey, I didn't feel like I needed one. I wanted to try to walk off on my own strength. And now we see he's been diagnosed with a high ankle sprain. Doug Peterson hasn't ruled him out for the Browns game. And he was just seen, as this is being recorded about an hour ago, practicing with a brace on his knee and his ankle.
I think I still think it's tough to put this guy. I think it's going to be tough to play him this week. I mean, I know he wants to play, and I know he's as tough as nails.
One bad step, he aggravates it.
Yeah, it's tough. Like
it's over.
I think as a player, he wants to play, and I think this is where the coaches got to come in. And be like, Trevor, we love you. We think you're tough. We know you're tough. Like, we got to set this one out, buddy. We need you for this playoff run we're about to make.
Yeah. And it would have been nice to be 9-3, be in the conversation for one of those top seeded AFC teams. And obviously, if you're a Jags fan, not only are you keeping an eye on the Jags, you're keeping an eye on the Texans. They beat the Broncos.
They did.
Thriller. Russell Wilson threw an interception in the middle of the end zone. So you want the Jags to keep winning, and you don't want to find that Texans team's in the playoffs, because even that game was real close.
Well, you never, ever want a division opponent in your playoffs. That's just the stone cold facts of it. You do not want to see a team 3 times. I mean, you just don't. And then that's why I hate when people are like, oh, well, they're going to lose because they'd rather play this team and blah, blah. I'm like, I'm going to tell you right now, if they have a chance to keep their division opponent out of the playoffs, they're going to play.
Keep them out.
You do not want them in the playoffs.
Keep them out.
That's stone cold facts.
So we're going to keep an eye, as well as all Jags fans, on Trevor Lawrence's status heading into this Browns game. Hopefully they can get the dub, and I'm pretty sure everybody will keep watching to see exactly what the Texans do on Sunday. As far as that, we'll move right into when I needed you the most, because that is important. When I need you, where are you? Huh? Do you have my back? And as I just mentioned, coming in at the number 3 spot is Russell Wilson. You're on a 4-5 game winning streak. You have a chance to put the ball in the end zone, to win the game. You throw an interception. Russell Wilson, when the city of Denver needed you, and you've left the city of Denver ass out, buddy, a whole lot this year. When they needed you, you didn't come through. You threw a pick, the game was over, and you got all the Jags fans sweating. So Russell, get your act together. It's not that you haven't been playing amazing. You just can't make those mistakes as a veteran quarterback in late game situations. Moving into number 2, it's going to be the Philadelphia Eagles. You making me look stupid, okay? I talked you up, all right? I'm supposed to know stuff like this. Tyler was right. Y'all got your ass whoops. I don't want to hear Listen, I don't want to hear nothing about, we played 3 games in 11 days. Hey, it's the NFL, baby. I'm pretty sure there are other NFL teams that have done the same thing.
This was like the Super Bowl of the regular season. I mean, you guys
they whooped ass. Debo came through in his little bicycle. He snatched Red's chain. Debo's
a bad dude, boy.
Man.
I mean, that team's the most talented team. I've been saying it all year. There's no doubt about it. When they're healthy, they're not going to be beat. It's just stone cold fact.
And there was the moment to prove it. The Eagles gauntlet, you passed every test. You beat Kansas City. You beat Buffalo. You beat Dallas. You couldn't beat the best team in football.
I mean, I will give the Eagles some credit. Like, they have played a gauntlet of football games, and they get the end of the gauntlet right now. They do get an easier part of their schedule coming up. But they got to. If they don't beat Dallas, it's going to get very interesting.
They don't beat Dallas, then there are a lot of questions, and we're going to get into that when we get into the games of the week, because there's big implications in that game, and injury reports are going to matter. But number 1 in my when I needed you the most is going to be the entirety, all of that Chargers-Patriots game. Okay, you're a Chargers, you're a Patriots fan. You might want to turn it off, because I'm about to talk real nasty. Okay, you both suck. You're both ass. Brandon Staley, I need you out of there. Turn your badge in, walk your ass out the front door, leave your parking permit on the front desk. Bill Belichick, I need you to go find a quarterback. Hey, what's his name? Uncle Roger, whatever his name is from Napoleon Dynamite. Hell, I could probably throw a spiral.
Rico.
Uncle Rico, somebody.
He throws over the mountains at least.
You finally bench Mac Jones. He is not the guy. That game was 6-0. There was not an offensive touchdown. There needs to be changes for both teams.
The Patriots need to jump on board that this is a different kind of quarterback league. They have both of these quarterbacks who are standing in the pocket and throwing the football. Like, this is not the NFL anymore.
So what's up with this kid, since you mentioned
Malik Cunningham needs to have a chance. They need him. He needs to have the opportunity. They need to go to that and let him play football, because Malik Cunningham is a very good athlete. He always has been. He was a very good quarterback at Louisville. Now, he doesn't have the reads, but you can teach him that. I mean, like, they taught Lamar. Like, Lamar figured it out. And, like,
he did.
Lamar's not like a superhero, but he runs the ball, and you have to respect that. And it allows for other people to get open. I think Malik Cunningham deserves a chance. Like, he can't do any worse. You guys can't score.
Yeah, y'all need to start praying to a higher power or something, because your fan base is on the line, right? Like, you understand the dynasty is over. The conversation has always been, has Bill Belichick's success been completely tied to Tom Brady?
You are starting to show it.
Boy, I'm telling you, you're real ass out, Belichick. You're not looking good, baby, okay?
It's like you can't adapt to the league. The league has adapted to the athletic quarterback, man. You got to get somebody that can move, because these defensive ends are too athletic and good.
They're moving.
If you let them pin the ears back, there's not tackles that can block any of these guys.
It's
They're
over.
Too good. So you got to be able to have an athlete at quarterback. That's the way the league has turned. And Josh McDaniels couldn't do it, and Bill Belichick isn't doing it. You got to start figuring it out, guys. Like, you got to see it. I know you guys are old, and McDaniels ain't even old. He's just an idiot. But at the end of the day, I'd like to add one more to your where were you when I needed you the most.
Who is this?
And that last one I like to add is the 13 guys on the NFL committee. Where were you when I needed you the most to do the right thing and pick the Florida State Seminoles? They rightly deserved. You guys are creeps, and you should 100% go apologize in players face to face like you should. You guys are criminal creeps. And that's all I needed for that one.
That's wild. And that's gonna do it for when I needed you the most. Now we'll move into our games of the week. Tyler, I got 5 good ones. Okay.
I'm ready.
Thursday night football.
I thought you said 5 good ones.
I don't care.
Just bet the under, guys. I don't even care what it is. If it's 12, take under 12. I don't care. There ain't anybody scoring this game. You got Mitch Trubisky versus Bailey Zappi.
No. They signed old boy McSorley.
They're not. That's to back him up. They're not starting Tracy McSorley. You know, lost your gourd.
Did you see Mitch last game?
Have you seen Tracy McSorley?
It's the battle of the ass wipes. They're both terrible.
Listen, I'm betting every under yards, under this, under that. I bet every under. Like, I'll probably win them all.
Yeah, I'm not watching that game.
I can't believe it's 30.5. I just don't think the bookies can make it small enough.
It's 30.5?
Yeah, and I'd still take the under.
Yeah.
I'd take the under at 17.5.
Yeah, I'm going to have to do that.
I might even alternate line it and get it down to 19.5 for plus 400.
Hedge it up.
Why not? Like, what the hell? These guys are...
More games of importance. The Jacksonville Jaguars are going to take on the Cleveland Browns. So now the question begins, is Trevor Lawrence going to be healthy enough to play? If you're a Jags fan, do you want him to play? And I think the question is that you let CJ Beathard.
CJ Beathard. Well, he's an okay kind of guy.
You let him play.
He's been in the league a little bit.
You let him play. I would hate to see Trevor Lawrence take a misstep. I'd hate to see him get his ankle stepped on again. It's going to all be bad. Okay, so
you got to set him down.
I think you got to set him down. The Jacksonville Jaguars are going to play a very, very tough Cleveland Browns defense. The only thing that's going to be working for them is that their offense is trash.
Well, Joe Flacco. Joe Flacco is going to start for Cleveland.
Who?
Joe Flacco.
Exactly. The fossil man.
Fossil man, Joe Flacco.
Can't believe he's starting too, right?
Yeah. I mean, he didn't play bad against the Rams. I mean, he did what he was supposed to do as a veteran. Like, dude, he didn't play terrible. I'm just saying, for Joe Flacco to come off the couch, he played better than any Patriots quarterback has all season.
Why are you doing that?
The Patriots should sign Joe Flacco because he's better than anything they got.
Yeah, nah, we're not going to talk about – I'm never going to put Joe Flacco played well in a conversation. That man was playing football in 2005.
That man came off the couch, and he did a decent job. I got to give it to him. I ain't mad at him. I tell you what. I'll tell you what. The Patriots don't play Malik Cunningham. They should all be fired. Malik Cunningham needs to be starting quarterback tonight. Well,
I think that's that little diamond in the rough. They got to get him ready. He's not ready yet. He's not ready yet. They're going to take the year to get him ready.
They can't score with anybody. Who isn't ready?
Nah,
Bill O'Brien's a moron.
They're not going to let him burn up out
This
there.
guy destroyed the Texans. This guy can't call an offense. What are the Patriots averaging? 5 points a game? I mean, these guys terrible.
So, in the Jacksonville versus the Browns game, who are you going to take? Who's winning that game? I know. That's why I asked you first.
I can't take.
I'm still thinking about it.
I can't take Flacco, man. I don't think I can take.
You said he got off the couch.
You're right. For off the couch, he looked great. That don't mean he played great. He just looked great off the couch. If I came off the couch and played like that, I'd be a happy person. I'm not gonna lie.
All right.
But I'm just gonna take the Jags because I like the Jags and I want the Jags to be good. So I'm gonna take.
All right. So you roll with the Jags. I'm gonna roll with the hometown team as well. Jaguars are going to take the Browns down. I'm going to give it like a 20-17 score. Okay?
I don't even think it's going to be that. I think we're going to like 17-14 kind of game.
So Thursday Night Football, I don't care about. Jacksonville takes down the Browns. Let's keep rolling, baby. Let's keep rolling. Next up, we have the Minnesota Vikings.
Yeah, baby.
Against
Let's go.
the Las
This is
Vegas
what we've
Raiders.
been counting down. It's just the quarterback matchup we expected. Josh Stubbs against Aiden O'Connell.
Justin Jefferson is active and was a full participant in practice yesterday.
Well, yeah, I mean, that was only a matter of time. I mean,
Arguably the best wide receiver in football.
Yeah, and they're in a playoff hunt. They're in a good spot here.
50% chance, dead even.
I mean, I'm taking the Raiders because, well, I like the Raiders.
You don't even got to ask me.
No, Aiden O'Connell he's doing things, but once again,
be for real now? I need you to be honest with me.
What?
Do you honestly think he's going to be able to handle the multiple looks that Brian Flores is going to give him on defense?
Here's.
I need you to be honest with me.
But no. Here's what you don't understand. Since we've moved to Bo Hargrove as our offensive coordinator, he's calling games to allow Aiden O'Connell to succeed. So by that, I mean he's getting Michael Mayer involved, which is the tight end. He's very
but he
good.
ain't gonna know what hit it, man. He's not gonna see it.
Man.
What? He put 8 in the box, Tyler. He put 8 and dropped 2.
Because you guys look good against Justin Fields. I could design a defense to beat Justin Fields.
What? Now you talking shit. Now you talking shit. That's what you're doing.
Aiden O'Connell finds Devontae Adams deep for a tutty.
I get it.
You guys lose 24.
You know what?
7.
We're going to beat the hell out of the Raiders.
24-7.
We're going to beat the hell out of them. Okay?
Aiden O'Connell. Sign me up.
30-10. Since you talking shit.
Well, you should bet the under. It's 40.5.
Is it really?
Yeah.
All right. We'll see. Obviously, those picks are going to go separate ways as expected. Then we'll move right into the Seattle Seahawks and the San Francisco 49ers. Pending injury reports are clean. Pending everybody plays. I don't think anybody's choosing any other team than the 49ers. Tyler?
I mean, the Niners are the best team in football. I mean, when they're healthy, they can't be beat.
It's over.
They're dominant.
You might as well lay down for them.
I'm not saying lay down. You come and play like a man, but they're going to outman you. Like, they're too good.
And don't get me wrong, the Seattle Seahawks have a group of men.
But you know what we're seeing here? This is exactly the preference that, like, NFL is like, you have to find a rookie quarterback because you get them under those rookie deals, and then you just get to build around them, and you get all these studs. You get Bosa, you get Chase Young, you get Debo, you get Brandon Ayuk, you get
really
Christian
crazy.
McCaffrey, you get Trent Wood. You get all these guys and put them into place, and you just have a rookie quarterback who's making peanuts.
And you don't even got to pay him.
Not yet.
You don't have to pay him. And as we talked about before, he is in the MVP conversation.
I
just give it to him.
I think him and Dak are number 1 and 2. I mean, I can't say no to either of them.
Mr. Irrelevant. 7th round last
I think that
pick.
is kind of impressive, though. I like the Mr. Irrelevant's really good. That's cool.
And here's the thing, right? I'm going to give Purdy his flowers. Take the bouquet. But Kyle Shanahan.
Are they Purdy?
I don't know what's wrong with you today. I don't know what's wrong with you. You wild, man. You're a funny dude today. But give Purdy his flowers, but you also have to give a bouquet to Kyle Shanahan. That man can effing coach.
Oh, absolutely. I've always there's coaches I wouldn't trade in for anything, and one of them is Andy Reid. One of them is Kyle Shanahan, and the other is Sean McVay. I think Sean McVay does a great job for the Rams for what he has because they don't have much.
San Fran, listen to me very closely.
That thing was built between him and John Lynch.
Man,
too. That's impressive.
The San Francisco 49ers, as an organization, mic dropped everybody. They gave up everything for Trey Lance. They knew when to give up on Trey Lance. They get a quarterback in Brock Purdy. They build him up. They teach him, learn him. Defense was already fine. Defense was 5-6 years in the making.
They're not scared to make moves. That's the difference. They're not scared to.
It's all coming together.
There's
man.
teams that hold on to guys for too long, and obviously Zach Wilson is that guy for the Jets. You just sit down and you look and you go, "Hey guys, we made a mistake. Let's cut our losses now."
We made a mistake, and we're gonna start Brock Purdy.
Yeah, talking in the same draft. But my thing is like that's what good organizations do. They admit when they make mistakes. They get the right guys into place, and guess what? They win. They don't hold on to them because they drafted them in the first round. Hey, we screwed up. Okay.
Yeah. And then they go out and get Chase Young, right? Like they go out and they just build it up, keep everybody healthy, give Debo the contract. Trent Williams, best left tackle in football, and you plucked him from the Commanders.
Is Purdy this good or is the team this good?
Purdy's that good.
It's yet to be seen, but he throws a great ball.
He throws a beautiful ball, and he does his job, and there's a lot of white noise out there for him. He doesn't care. Like, he doesn't feed into that. He realizes he's in a position. He's lucky. You're never going to see him ever talk bad about a team. He just does his job. He just clocks in and does his job.
When he was at Iowa State, I watched Brock Purdy a lot. I watched all these guys a lot in college, and he was a highly touted recruit. But, in college, that's a different thing.
It's a way different beast.
Because in the NFL, you get highly talented, but, They want you to have a big arm. They want you to be this tall. They want your hands to be this big. They want all this other stuff that you just can't.
I mean, he
judge
was
a
the
football
last
player.
pick for a reason.
Right, but what I'm saying is like he was a talented football player at Iowa State. It had him and Breece Hall, and they were very, very good. Like that Iowa State team was something to be reckoned with.
And now,
Xavier Hutchinson,
can you believe that? Like, you go from being the last round draft pick to now, like, you're the favorite to come out the NFC, and you're the favorite to win the Super Bowl.
Yeah. I mean, Iowa State's actually put a lot of guys in the league lately, and they put our boy Red Hayward in the league.
So, 49ers over Seahawks. Love what the 49ers are doing. Love what Kyle Shanahan's doing.
Yeah,
it's kind of hard to count them out when they're so good.
I don't think it's even close, Niners.
I think it's not going to be close as well. But we'll move into America's Game of the Week, and it features the Philadelphia Eagles for 2 weeks in a row. Philadelphia Eagles and the Dallas Cowboys. A rivalry as old as time itself. And they're playing in Dallas this time.
I'm taking Dallas.
Big, big, big implications. If you look at the standings, with a Dallas win, obviously meaning a Philly loss, they would then become dead even. If the Cowboys went out, they would be the second overall seed. And if the 49ers went out, they would be the number 1 overall seed. So essentially, what I'm trying to say is that Philly's playing for like home court advantage. That's what they need.
They need that home field. I think they need that, and it's mainly because the creeps of Philadelphia. That's what I'm starting to call these guys. The fans, the creeps, who just try to get in your heads and throw bottles at you and hit you with batteries and throw snowballs and hit you in the face. And
Worst fan base in the league.
They are literally creeps. I mean, they do not know what class means.
No.
Class and them do not go together, and it's very frustrating. I mean, I'm a fan, but man, you got to have some kind of respect too. Jeez.
And so with this game, there are massive implications, and also there is rumor looming around Jalen Hurts that he's been playing hurt. No pun intended.
I know he's been playing hurt.
He's been playing hurt.
But he has.
But do you allow? And we talked about this. Do you allow Marcus Mariota to start, or do you play Jalen Hurts in essentially the biggest game of the year for your team? Because home field advantage is huge.
Well, listen, Jalen Hurts has been injured, and he's said he's injured, but he said he's fine. By that, he means he's healthy enough to help his team win a football game. You can't win with You're not beating Dallas and Marcus Mariota. Let's just get that straight.
It's not going to happen.
That ain't going to happen.
It's not going to happen.
So
you're absolutely right.
Jalen Hurts gives you the best chance to win, and if Jalen Hurts says he's healthy enough to play, you play Jalen Hurts. It's that simple. I know he's tough too. Like, that's a tough kid, so like you got to kind of have a coach's decision at that point. But I think Hurts, he's getting banged up because, he is a running guy.
100%.
But he's been getting banged up all year, but he's fine. I think you play Jalen Hurts. I think that's your only chance to beat Dallas. And Marcus Mariota, like I said, I don't think Marcus Mariota
shot.
is giving
It ain't nothing against Mariota. You've been floating around a lot, baby. Your time is almost up. And you definitely, in my opinion, and if you ask an Eagles fan, they probably tell you the same thing, you're not going to leave without a doubt, the most important game of the year. You're not going to leave that up to Marcus Mariota.
If he has remotely any close chance of being able to run, like any movement at all, Jalen Hurts is playing in the game. Mm-hmm. But he has to be able to move to be Jalen Hurts because he has been holding on to the ball longer this year than I don't know what's going on with that. It's like he doesn't trust the offense or something since they switched offensive coordinators. They don't look the same. And they haven't looked the same on defense either because they're getting torched by the pass.
They're getting smoked.
They are getting absolutely torched.
They're getting absolutely torn up.
Guess who's been doing the torching? Dak Prescott's been torching everyone. And you talk about
Hold up.
Dak Prescott.
Hold on. He's been torching bad teams.
All you can do is, I'll tell you again, you play who's on your schedule.
He's
and
been
you
smoking
beat who's
bad teams.
Has he been torching it?
I mean, what team did he beat? 45-10? Like,
no. Go look at Dak's numbers. Has he turned the ball over like everyone says he does?
It started bad.
He had one bad game. He had 3 turnovers in one game. He hasn't 3 turnovers against the Niners, and then ever since then, nothing.
6 picks, 20 touchdowns,
and 3 of those came in one game. So don't tell me Dak ain't playing
He's been
MVP
playing
level.
exceptional, but he's been beating a lot of bad teams. I gotta call it how I see it.
All you can
I have to call it how I see it.
I've been saying this for the Eagles too. All you can do is play who's on your schedule.
So then, what's gonna happen? Who gonna win the game?
Dallas Cowboys. Dak Prescott is going to have a huge game, and Dallas is going to win the ball game.
Wow. You heard that? Huge game. Now, hold on. Don't get it twisted. I'm picking the Cowboys to win the game, too. I'm not going to sit here and say a huge game. I'm not disrespecting Philly like that.
Disrespecting Dak.
I don't got that. I don't got that. Disrespecting that. He said this man should be. You know what? I'm going to find a clip, and I'm posting it. I'm going to do it tonight.
Don't you disrespect Dak right
Yeah, but big performance. You saw what A.J. Brown said, right? They got their ass whooped, beat, spanked, smoked. And A.J. Brown told the reporters, he said, listen.
I love A.J. Brown.
He said, I can't tell you what I told the locker room. But you watch come Sunday. Our energy's changed, and you'll see.
That's fine. Dallas is 6-0 at home. That's all I'm going to tell you.
You really like Dallas, man. I'm going to get you a Dallas jacket.
I'm going to tell you right now, I've actually liked the Dallas.
I know you have. I can see
since
it.
Tony Romo.
It's literally leaking out of you.
I love that people hate Dallas, which makes me like them more.
Yeah, I hate Dallas too.
Right. See, there you go. See?
No, I hate Dallas. I hate Philly fans. Like, they all just terrible.
Well, you know what? Like, I like that team. I like that people hate a team, so it makes me like Dallas because they hated Romo, and Romo was so good.
Look at this. Now I know what I'm getting you for Christmas.
But every quarterback Dallas has ever had has been bashed, no matter who it is. Teams hate it. That guy sucks. That guy sucks. That guy sucks. That guy can't win. That guy can't win. That's all you ever hear. Tony Romo can't win. He can't win.
He couldn't.
Dak Prescott, he can't win. He can't win.
He couldn't.
We're about to find out.
I'm like, what? Tony Romo, do you not remember that infamous shot of him sitting on the field with his hands in his helmet?
Listen, that's one game. Listen, do you know Dallas had the worst defenses in the NFL when Tony Romo was a quarterback? They lost a game. I'll never forget this for the rest of my entire life. I will remember this game for my entire life. Peyton Manning was on the Broncos.
Yeah.
Tony Romo was on the Cowboys.
Mm-hmm.
The Cowboys lost the game 50-43. Romo threw for almost 500 yards, 5 touchdowns, and 1 interception. And the interception was a diving interception by Danny Trevathan. I didn't even know the guy's name. I know the player. He dove like this.
You're the biggest Dallas fan ever.
No, Danny Trevathan dove, picked it off.
Why do you have a Raiders big head?
Stop
it.
Fan.
You know
Danny
the players'
Trevathan
names.
picked the ball off, diving, and all anybody could say, Romo lost the game. I went, that's it, I'm done. I turned off the TV, and I just went on my way.
You are the biggest Dallas, closet Dallas Cowboys fan ever. I am taken aback by this. You know specifics, man.
I know everything about. I know a lot of specifics about.
What you got,
sports.
like a cowboy shrine in your closet?
But
Stop
you should
lying
see how
to
much
me.
stupid stuff I know about the Raiders.
Oh boy. Oh yeah, don't go there. But we both do have the Cowboys in America's gotta be game of the week. Huge implications. I'm gonna take the Cowboys over the Eagles. Very close game, maybe a 3-point game.
3.5 spread. I think.
Is it 3.5 points?
I think it's a good line, yeah.
But with spreads, with points, we keep rolling into Tyler's.
We've been on fire for locks of the week. I might add. I have been 8-2. I lied. I'm sorry. I am 8-1 because I only picked 3.
You've been spot on though. You've been nice. You've been nice. No, you've been real good with it.
Doing it, and I'm gonna start off with number 1 bet of the week.
Number 1 bet.
I don't even know how. The bookies can't make the scores low enough. Just take the under in Pittsburgh and the Patriots. There is no way that anybody on this team can score.
All of your under bets have hit.
Oh yeah, because they can't score. I already know. I bet the Chargers. What I say? Chargers Patriots lock of the week last week. They scored 6 points. I mean, they can't score. Unless 2 defensive touchdowns happens, it's not going over 30.5.
Yeah.
So there's always that opportunity. So that's your number 1 bet. Just go ahead and lock it in now before it goes any lower. My second bet that I think is – I had some tough ones to even come through today.
Okay.
But I can't even do it. I can't – I don't even –
You're on the fence right now.
I want to say Detroit, but I just know that
Detroit who?
The Detroit Lions.
Against who?
Against the Bears.
No, sir.
They're on the road.
No, sir.
They're on the road in Chicago.
No, put it away.
And it's tough.
Put it away.
But Justin Fields is not good at this sport.
Their defense is good at this sport, though.
Yeah, I agree, but I think the Lions are like.
And it's a divisional game. Stop.
I don't really have any more locks besides the under right now. I'm going to be that honest.
Away.
Like I've been looking all week, so I'm going to have to find
to the DP
another one.
To the DP and Jacks. For your 3-team parlay, I told you the Green Bay Packers are going to beat Kansas City.
My third one was going to be the Green Bay Packers minus 6.5 on the road in the Giants. Jordan Love is playing out of his mind right now. Jordan Love. It is amazing.
Nothing but love.
What the Packers do. It is amazing what the Packers do with quarterbacks. They get Brett Favre. They draft a guy. They sit him behind him.
Please,
just replace him.
Don't say it.
And then
We don't need another franchise guy.
They draft Aaron Rodgers. They have Aaron Rodgers. They trade up to draft a quarterback, and Jordan Love just comes in and just throwing darts out there. I mean, the Packers are special when it comes to this. And Matt LaFleur's always been there when this happens, so there's got to be something to it. There's got to be something to Matt LaFleur in this quarterback situation.
Fluke.
I don't think it's a fluke. I think Matt LaFleur is a very good coach.
Listen to me.
So my second bet is going to be Packers minus 6.5 on the road on Monday night against the Giants.
Who they got? Oh, but they got your boy coming back, though.
And you know what? I've been riding this team all year. I'm just going to ride them again. The Dolphins are 13.5-point favorite at home. I'm just going to take the Dolphins. I'm going to ride the Dolphins the whole way. So, under in tonight's game.
You ain't talking trash about the Dolphins this week.
Packers. No. I mean, you know what they do? They like Cowboys. They beat bad teams. And they were minus 9.5 last week. Said Lock City was never even a sweat. This week, they're minus 13 at home against the Titans on Monday Night Football. There's two Monday night games this week.
Smoked.
Give me the Dolphins. So I'm taking the Dolphins, the Packers, and the under in tonight's game. We're going to try to go to 11-1 by the end of this week.
Locks of the week. Locked in, baby. Locked
Spur
in.
locks of the
so,
week.
Really quick, just one little quick topic for me. And then if you have anything, we'll go from there. But with Trevor Lawrence getting hurt and recently Joe Burrow getting hurt, I think the question looming around the NFL as far as players, staff, fans, and even executives, going into next year, how can we keep quarterbacks safe? The NFL this year is on the cusp of breaking the record of having backup quarterbacks starting. What do you do differently?
I mean, I don't think there's anything you do differently. I mean, they're doing everything they can to protect him. It's not that. It's just like we have a more athletic quarterback situation now, and these guys are running more, and these guys are doing this.
But does it? So I guess does it set a bad precedent, right? Like you got there's like 12.
It's
there's
football. It's tough.
There's like 12 starting quarterbacks that are done.
Which is why you also NCAA. Which is why you can't say they don't have a quarterback when this is the most injury-prone game in the world. All right, I'm done. I just want to keep taking shots at them until I get. My point is like this is football. It's a tough sport. People get hurt. This is what happens. It's not like they're getting like these guys aren't getting blasted. Trevor Lawrence got stepped on. They're running 10 to 11 times a game where they never have before. We're pulling hamstrings. There. A lot more people now are also getting hurt because of concussion protocols. Mm-hmm. They may not necessarily have a concussion, but back in the day, even if it was even close, they just put them back in. They didn't even care. Mm-hmm. So a lot of these guys are sitting out because of concussion protocols. So I don't think anything's going wrong. I just think it just makes sure that you have to have a deeper team.
But now, will teams start to invest more in their backups?
I mean, I just think you draft one and hope you get lucky because you don't have to pay them anything. They're peanuts.
Yeah, I guess you're right.
I mean,
look at this, man.
Oh, I agree.
Joe Burrow, Kirk Cousins, Daniel Jones.
But that's in his throwing risk.
Anthony Richardson, Aaron Rodgers, Deshaun
Richardson
Watson.
was hurt while he was running the ball.
Yeah, it messed up the shoulder.
Broken collarbone. Well, it didn't say broken collarbone, but that's what I think.
So what about this turf thing with the Achilles?
No.
Natural grass, turf?
I do think that there is something that needs to be checked out, and I think that the NFL should make every team go to a specific type. Either it's all natural grass or whatever the best for these players' feet, ankles, their.
But it costs money.
Who cares? They're billionaires.
The reason why they're billionaires, profit, baby.
You're telling me you can't spend $500,000 get new fields?
Oh, it's way more than that.
Well, I'm just saying, like
upkeep natural grass is like in the millions.
Okay, so we spend $2 million. If you guys want to hire me, I'll take care of it.
Hey, you buy me the biggest freaking lawnmower ever, I'll take care of it.
But I also will say, in the Jags game on Monday night, I felt like footing was a very big issue. I felt like they were slipping all over the place. I felt like a lot of guys were slipping. So I don't know. Like I think you need to do a test, and I think you need to have all the same field on every stadium. That's just my opinion.
And the players have felt this way. They've voiced their opinions with every injury. Turf. Change it. And, I mean, nothing short of Patrick Mahomes going out. I think people will still echo the same sentiment. Like, do something different. Otherwise, quarterbacks will continue to go down.
Yeah. No. I just think you're going to see more and more quarterbacks getting hurt regardless because, like I said, it's a more athletic position now than it ever has been. It used to be a bunch of pocket passing guys. That's what the NFL was. That's who it was. That was what it was. But now they're super athletic. These guys are, they're running. They're taking more hits than they ever have, and it's their fault. I mean, it's not their fault. It's just what the game has evolved to, and that's what it is. So, I like the field thing, but I think they're doing everything right when it comes to. I think you're doing everything right when it comes to protecting these guys. And everybody's like, oh, put flags on them, do this and do that, and blah, blah, blah.
Yeah.
But let me tell you something about the NFL. It has evolved to bigger, faster, stronger guys. And if you let them play like they did 25 years ago, somebody's going to die.
Somebody be dead.
They're going to die. I mean, they are literally going to die. You can't just let them
And that's the worst
run
thing
through
for
people.
the NFL. And it's never, I don't remember the last time, or if it's ever happened, if a player ever just passes away on the field, immediate rule changes. You might as well be playing flag football.
I 100%. But I mean, you got 360-pound guys running 4.640s. I mean, that is. I mean, it is like
Freight trains.
Micah Parsons 250 out there running 4.45. I mean, he is going to kill someone if you let him just do whatever he wants.
Can you imagine that full speed coming at you?
I do protect. I think the NFL has evolved into doing a really good job with it. I do think that there's one rule change that the NFL should do, and it should be this year. It's because we do protect the quarterback more than any other position, without a question, and it's anything close, they do throw a flag. I think the roughing the passer penalty should go upstairs, and if it's anywhere close, they should be like, guys, pick up that flag. That was not a roughing the passer.
I think
that's the only one I think should be reviewable.
I think you're right, but I think given this year, it's kind of like a read the room kind of thing, right? Like you have, even though it's not attributed to big hits late on quarterback by defensive ends and tackles and linebackers, I think it's a read the room kind of thing. Like you got 12 quarterbacks that are out with season-ending injuries, and you want to repeal the roughing the passer call. Like, man.
All you got to do is, we have so much technology in the game now than we ever have, and this is why I also defend referees. Back in the day, you didn't have 4K HD and you could see every blade of grass that you can in the NFL now.
Yeah, they even have a command center that's like a there's like a head ref
100%.
that can call in and change a call.
And that's how it should be, because now you have the technology to do that. But these refs are watching guys at faster speeds than they ever have, and they might not be in position, and they might not be in a lot of things. Like, it is hard to ref a football game, to see everything that goes on. It's impossible. I defend referees. I don't. It is a lot harder than the average fan quarterback couch thinks, and that's the stone cold fact.
It is. I agree.
It is a very, very hard job, and there are some blatant ones, but those get reviewed now. So, I mean, it's not. These people think that it's just the average football fan doesn't look deep into the game like I do. They don't look deep into it. They just sit on their couch on Sunday and be like, that was a terrible call by the referee, blah, blah, blah. The refs did this and the refs did that. But you're watching it. You could be watching a guy over here, and you could see something out of the corner of your eye. Like, there's a lot of things that go into it. So
there is. I'm looking forward to it. But that's all I got for this week. Anything else?
I'm just going to give you my top 5 teams that I love.
Oh, come on.
The rest of for obviously my number one, San Francisco 49ers. I think they speak for themselves. I think the number 2 team right now, you are going to laugh at this one, but I think it's the Dallas Cowboys. I think the offense is.
How?
I think the offense is legit.
All right, when they pull that damn curtain off of your head, and you're like, oh man, what the hell happened? He turned the ball over twice against.
They might. But then I also, now my number 3 team, I'm taking the Philadelphia Eagles. I still believe in that team. I don't think getting trounced is like. I still think they're one of the better football teams, and I'm starting to become a believer of the Miami Dolphins. I am on the Miami Dolphins train now. They are proving some things.
That's all I'm saying.
And my number 5 team is the Baltimore Ravens. They play good defense. They run the ball, and that's how success is in the NFL. If you can run the ball, you can have success in this league. And
you definitely can.
Obviously, if you play defense, like the Florida State Seminoles do, you have a chance. And yes, that was another shot at the NCAA committee for saying defense can't win championships.
Wow. You're wild, man. You're wild.
I have all kinds of shots
I
at the
know you do.
NCAA,
I can tell
and
you
they'll
got 'em
probably
locked in.
continue to come out.
I can tell you got them
But-
locked in.
Those are my top 5 moving forward. And if you guys want to take a nap tonight, watch Pittsburgh and the Patriots, because that's about what you're going to get is nap time.
I'm going to go to bed.
And when you wake up, it'll probably be 3-0.
Yeah, I'm going to go to bed.
So with that being said, I'm done, but enjoy the game if you like defense, I guess. I don't even know if it's a defense. I don't know if it's just terrible offense or good defense.
It's just bad football.
I don't know what it is. Mike Tomlin, what are you doing over there, buddy? You got to figure something out.
There's 16 years, winning seasons. That's all you need. That's the only thing. Print it. You can print it, put it on T-shirts, let it be a headliner. That's all you need.
I don't care
He'll
what
always
it
have a
is,
job.
but there's got to – I actually think I do like the defensive games, but I don't think this is one I would like.
Nope.
Because
I'm not
there's
watching it.
nothing about it
Not
that
watching
makes
it.
me –
I'm gonna-
I'm going to watch it.
I'm going to be editing.
I love the game. I
Like,
love the
sometimes
sport.
I'm like, I'll watch the game and then like edit when the kid
Make
goes
sure
to
you
bed.
edit when you get to that clip that I say the score was 3-0 when the score is actually 3-0.
That's exactly what's going to happen.
I actually
exactly
have a
what's
bet on the under tonight. I locked it in before it could go any farther. Yeah, I saw it at 31, and I said it's
Lock
down
it
to
in.
30.5. And
Well, neither of these teams are going to make my top 5. Not even close.
they're never making my top.
Never going to make the top 5. Sorry.
The sick part is that Pittsburgh might make the playoffs.
They know might. They're more than likely going to.
They have the most cupcake schedule left I've ever seen.
Yeah, it's not good. But I got Dallas at 5, Dolphins at 4, Ravens at 2. I have the Eagles at 3. I think they needed a little backside help, and they got it. They went and picked up Darius Leonard from Colts. They get whoever they want. They got Kevin Byard. They get all the help they need, and I think that's going to be a big addition. They signed him on a 1-year deal. Still think Philly's a great team. It's just that there is now a bigger gap between the number 1 team in the league and the number 2 team. So number 2 for me is the Eagles. Number 1 is the 49ers. There's a real big gap there. And those are my top 5 teams.
This is by far, the Patriots-Steelers game is now dipped down to 29.5, which is the lowest total in the NFL game in 30 years.
The Chargers-Patriots game was, 6-0?
Yeah, we
Piss
might see.
poor.
We could see that again.
Piss poor.
I'm not willing to bet that it goes over that. I like to bet that no touchdowns are scored. I'd like to bet that.
Prop bets are going to go wild tonight. They're going to go wild.
It's going to be insane.
Well, I know I won't be watching the game. You probably won't either.
I will watch the game. I always watch the games
Nope.
regardless. But
Nope.
guys, thanks for tuning in and out. I know you guys come in and out. I do appreciate it. We need all the help and all the support we can get because we do, man. I love watching it. I love talking about it. And I'm a huge passionate guy when it comes to it. And people know that. And people use it against me, and I get riled up. And they love it. They love it when they rile me up. But, hey, it's a passion of mine. And whatever passion you have, just keep doing it, man. It's fun. I'm enjoying it. And if you want to rile me up because it does get entertaining. I know. To all my Alabama fans, no, I don't hate any of my friends out there that are Alabama fans. You know, we've been arguing back and forth for 4 days. I still like you guys. It has nothing to do with that. But there are a lot of things we disagree on, and that's fine. That's life. That's how life goes.
Well, until next week, guys, we will see you then. I don't give a piss about nothing but them Tide.